Welcome back to the podcast, Come Over for Dinner. Today we have joining us Kristy, and I am so excited she is here. She is going to share with us her favorite menu to serve to guests, and well, I'll let her tell us all about it. Welcome, Kristy.
Thank you for having me. It's fun.
Okay, so we've talked about having guests into our home and how important that is. Before we start on your menu, can you tell me, why do you think it's important to invite family and friends into your home?
For us, it creates community, and we just love instilling that in people, that they are welcome in and out of our lives, and that means in and out of our home, whether it's clean or not clean. Life is not perfect, so we just feel like community and having that around us is really vital, and for our kids to see that doing life alone is not so advantageous.
That is such a good point. I mean, we were created to be in community, and it kind of reminds me of, a couple of years ago, 2020, so many people came out of it being isolated and feeling down or depressed, and it reaffirmed in many people's minds the need for community and the need to just connect with others, and one of the best ways to do that is over a meal. So,
agreed.
We are going to talk about your favorite menu. This is actually from her mother. So this is a tried and true, top secret recipe that you are going to hear about today. So tell us about your mom's meatloaf.
So my mom's meatloaf, I have tried other meatloaf recipes, but I always come back to hers because there's a moistness to it that I really like. And it's something I can prep ahead of time. It's something I can double and put another one in the freezer. So that's why I love it. And I love serving it to families with a new baby because of that iron in the beef for the new mama and the veggies that you can serve with it. So that's why it's my tried and true go-to.
All right. And I will definitely post this recipe so that we can all try it. It looks delicious. When you make the meatloaf, what do you put on the side to make it a complete meal?
Usually I'll do baked potatoes because gluten-free for one, and most people love potatoes. So roast them or bake them whole. And then a veggie, and usually I'll do a side salad too. So either roasted broccoli or peas, so easy. And if I give it as a new baby meal, like the steamable bags, so a mom can just, stick that in the microwave, easy. So those are kind of my go-tos.
That is a great idea. And meatloaf, I think, is a comfort food. A lot of people think of it as a comfort food. So if I was a new mom or somebody recovering from something from the hospital, I would definitely want to have this meatloaf show up at my door.
It's a good point.
I would throw the microwave vegetables in just to feel better about the double serving of meatloaf. But yes, this would be an ideal recipe to cook for company or take it to someone.
And all my kids love it, actually. So
they're getting their vegetables in.
Seems to be kid-friendly.
And it does, in here it has green peppers chopped. You could put more, it says if you want, than half a green pepper. Also a little bit sweeter. Sometimes I substitute red pepper or yellow or orange peppers. They're a bit sweeter, but in a meatloaf, I don't think it would matter.
No, it doesn't matter at all. Whatever's in the fridge. And that's the other. And, oatmeal usually is in your cupboard. So a lot of the ingredients usually you will have on hand. Easy to throw together.
So nice. So what shortcut or time saver do you use when you're making this menu, if you're in a hurry?
Usually I double it, so it takes a little bit longer, but then I always have a backup meal. So, and then the other thing I really love about it is I can do it in the time of day that I actually have time to do this. So it can be done ahead of time in the morning or even the night before and stuck in the fridge. So it's one of those recipes you can do ahead of time.
That is actually perfect, especially if you're inviting people over, because at the last minute, you don't want to be opening your door and still be trying to get your meal ready. It's nice if you have something pre-made.
Yes, this meal, everything can be prepped and just put in the oven an hour ahead of time. So
very nice. All right. So when you're prepping to have people over, what is your best tip that you would pass along?
My best tip, I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist. So I love having an organized, clean, tidy home. But I actually try to leave things a little bit undone when I have friends or even new people coming over. To tell myself that we're not perfect and life is sometimes crazy, and I don't expect your home to look pristine and put together. And so I want my tone and how we're welcoming new friends or old friends into our home to be the reflection versus maybe what everything looks like in its place or not in its place. So probably I do try to light a candle in the bathroom, but probably my most go-to is, are there some dishes undone or books still on the floor so people feel normal? Because it helps me.
That's a great tip. And especially if you're having someone with kids over into your home, if it's so pristine that not a toy or a book shows, then
you
they're
kind of wonder.
a bit uncomfortable and also may feel like, oh, I don't know what my kids can do, or I don't know where they can sit and play. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to sit and do. There's no toys, no books, nothing.
Exactly.
So that's a great way to be welcoming to those coming into your home, is to have a little spot that's
a little messy.
Yeah, it's a little messy. They can go play, and them playing is not going to make it any messier. It's just fine. Back to, before we go on to your favorite kitchen item, back to the meal. I think you mentioned to me when we were talking about you do make it ahead of time, but also you mentioned something about kids' lunches, how you put this, can also use the leftovers in kids' lunches.
Oh, yes. So if I'm, say with the bell peppers, if I'm chopping those up, I will chop extra of what I'm doing veggie-wise, so I have easy stuff to grab when I'm making lunches the next day. So I'm always thinking ahead if I'm doing meal prep of any sort. How else can this be used? Because I'm doing it right now, that I won't have to do it later. So, and then I love cleaning up as I go, because when I sit down for a meal, to have less to do when I get up.
That's true.
It's just a gym.
After your meal, you're feeling a little, after the fiesta, you might be ready for a siesta.
That's right.
So who wants to get up to a completely full kitchen of dirty dishes?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your must-have kitchen item, and where can we find it?
Yes, must-have kitchen item. I actually really love this app that I have called Plan to Eat, and I've recently learned there's others out there like it, but you can grab any recipe from the internet and put it in there. You can put your own recipes in it. It compiles your grocery list. You can make menus. So whenever, obviously we have our phones on us most of the time. So if I think of something I need, I can quickly add it to the shopping list. So it's not a kitchen utensil, but it certainly makes my life a lot easier in the kitchen, because I can add a simple ingredient I need on our grocery list, or pull up a quick recipe when I'm actually in the store, and I don't have to go back home and look in the cookbook or the recipe cards. It's all right there on my phone. So that's actually my favorite kitchen item at the moment.
I am going to have to check this out, especially if it makes a grocery list for you.
Yes.
I usually am looking at recipes and jotting down each item and checking the pantry and all of that. So
it does it all for you.
If it does it all for you, then that's one step that I can just be done with. So that would be great. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing all of your hot tips and your top secret recipe from your mom.
Not top secret anymore.
Not top secret anymore. Mom's recipe is out there for the world to recreate. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to go home and try it. All right. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.